Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Resting Easy with Chris and
Breezy.
And in today's episode, we're going to talk about
The fourth and final race of the Dopey Challenge of 2023,
the marathon. But first, we're going to show some great photos and videos, and after that, we're going to come right back and talk all about it. So, stay tuned. Hey guys, it is day 4 of Dopey. You know what that means? That means what, babe?
26 miles and we'll be done. And I do mean done.
Done, yes. So, we're going to get this done in 3, 2, 1. Here we go!
Walt Disney Marathon finisher! 2023 Walt Disney World Marathon, presented by State Farm. Well done.
It is
Officially in single digits.
single digits, and it's 18. What does that mean?
More than 2/3 of the way done.
There you go.
This shit.
3, 2, 1, bye. And here we are at mile 20. What does that mean, babe?
10K left.
10 Ks. That's a lot of Ks.
It's a lot
But
less
anyway,
than we started.
Anyway, let's go. Here we are at mile 21 at the Blizzard Beach.
One hand left.
Yep.
Woo.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that's 22 miles. What does that mean, babe?
4.
4?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's get it done. That's 23 with the sign. That's where we're going. Bye. And that's 24 miles down, and that means...
2 left.
Oh, here we go.
2 left.
That's 25, and that means...
1 more, and we're almost to our last character stop.
Yes,
Best character.
the best character one. Hold on for it. It's celebration time with our last character.
Last character.
Last character stops right here. You see it in our hands. Oh, I'm gonna move it over here. There we go. Cheers.
And we're back. We hope you enjoyed the footage and the photo montage. But now we're going to give you our thoughts and kind of talk about how the event went. So,
Why don't you start off by showing
the
showing
medal?
the medal? Yeah.
Okay, so
Because as you can see, we actually did finish it. So
this is the medal. If you've been watching these videos from other people, you've seen it. It is the 30th because it was 30th anniversary of the marathon itself. This does, spin. But yeah, it's fine.
it's fine. Yeah. And as just like in the other episodes, we also talked about the shirts. As you can see, we are wearing our marathon shirts, and this is color number
3 of the shade of blue.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get 4 next week when we talk about just an overall understanding of how the race weekend went. But let's talk about the marathon.
Mm-hmm.
So it was early again. Like what time? I think 2 o'clock again.
Well, yeah, we wake up at 2. We're out the door. We were out the door like by 2:40.
Yeah, and unlike last year where we woke up and we were like, I don't want to do this. This one actually felt pretty good. I mean, I got a good night's sleep. At least I did.
Yeah.
And we got out into the car. What about you? Did you sleep very well?
You know, it's been a while,
been a while,
I think they did.
Okay.
But yeah, no, this was definitely the first one because this is our third dopey. This was the first one where I woke up marathon morning and I wasn't worried about not finishing.
No.
Not you know, barring any unforeseen circumstances or an injury or something like that, I knew we would finish. To where the first one, it's your first one, so we had no idea. And then the second one, yeah, marathon morning, we were just like, we're just gonna see what we can do. If we get swept, we get swept.
Yeah.
We didn't.
No. And that's where we first started our first trend. Drink, finishing it, but we'll talk about it here in a second. But bright early, we were good to go. I don't think we had any issues at all.
No, when we got to the starting area, we went straight to the group to wait for the walkout.
Oh yeah, the mile and a half walkout to the starting line.
Because we wanted to get in there as soon as possible.
You have to get in front of the corrals because we did want to give us enough room to actually stop for some characters before, you know, the balloon ladies started their walking journey. But it was all right. The temperature was all right. It wasn't too hot or humid, right? Yeah. It was still a little nippy. I remember having our solar blankets, the Mickey Mouse ones. We had those.
Oh,
while we were waiting in the corrals, and then we also met or saw
Dave and Laura.
Yes.
Yeah, as they were getting into the corral.
Mm-hmm.
Which we actually leapfrogged them a few times during the start of the race.
Yeah, and seeing them in their Tron outfits, which were outstanding.
Cool. That was
awesome. The race started in...
Yeah, we started about 5:30.
Yeah,
I think it was about half an
about
hour.
30 minutes, yeah.
And the first goal was to get to Oogie Boogie, and we had already knew that he was in the 5 mile area.
Mm-hmm.
But we actually ended up stopping for, you'll see it in the video, I'm sure, but Pain and Panic and Hades, which they were around mile 2, because they pretty much had no line.
Yeah.
And so that was just, jump in, get the picture and jump out, and it was, easy peasy.
Yeah. And we actually thought that Oogie Boogie would have a very large line because you don't see them on the races or on the course.
Parks or anything.
So we thought actually there'd be a long line, and we got there and
there was
in and out. It was surprising. It was like right there on the curves of one of the on ramps or off ramps. So it was kind of like I'm tilted, But yeah, it was really quick there, and then we just continued on, and then we hit our first park, which was.
Well, we started. I mean, you do start through part of Epcot.
Yeah.
And then you have the long road out to towards Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
Because you hit the parking lots and the TTC, and you've still got a ways to go before you actually hit the park. Yeah. It was in the park. It was in the parking lot of Magic Kingdom, though, that we got to our next character, which was Pooh and Piglet.
Pooh and Piglet.
That was around the 8 or 9 mile mark.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we did, and of course we had to stop, and that was actually the longest line that we had the whole race, and it was still less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was just surprising that there wasn't lines at it. And while we were waiting for Pooh and Piglet, the 5 hour and 15 minute crew passed us.
Okay.
Yeah, you see it in the video, but you saw them pass us, which was like, okay, we still got plenty of time to go.
Yeah.
And during this, we decided to do
4 and 1.
The 4 and 1. So we'd run for 4 minutes and
walk for a minute. And we kept that up for 20 miles of the race, which was excellent for us. Because we started that actually last year. For the marathon, and I remember last year it actually was like mile 14 that we started switching that up, but this time
I think we extended it out to,
it's like
we shortened the run and extended the walk a little bit more, but it does help even for your first time or your 30th time that you're running the marathon. The walk run pace really does help. But I just remember running down Main Street was actually, I really got some good footage of the castle, and it was just awesome to see it again. And every time you run down Main Street, the emotional factor hits you. They get the music playing, you got the cast members there cheering you on, and you got all the running fans. When I run down Main Street, I have all my fans just clapping me on. Yeah, it was just very emotional going down there. And then
it doesn't even matter that Magic Kingdom's not even our favorite park.
oh yeah, it's not. Yeah, yeah.
That's still like. But the good thing about this one versus the half marathon,
Oh yeah.
we actually were able to run through the castle.
Yes, it was great. Yes, finally get to run and get outside the front. There was no crowd. The photographers were there, and we actually got some really good photos of us going like this through it, and yeah.
Yeah.
Saw Splash Mountain for the last time. And yeah, continued on through the race. I know it was probably around like you said, probably around mile 17 or 18 is when my heart rate.
No, it was after that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because we were doing good through mile 20, and then because actually, it started heating up.
Yeah.
The second half, and they had already warned us. The humidity was already there in the morning, but it was still cool. But you still had that humidity factor. And halfway through, it did start warming up. So yeah, mile 17, 18, it's warm. Nothing compared to the past 2 years.
That's true.
But no, we did good through mile 20. It was a mile. I remember almost distinctly. It was about mile 22 that you started having problems. So we were doing we had shortened our run segments, but his heart rate started having issues coming down even on the walk segments, so we were starting to having to extend the walks
a little bit more. But it was still, I mean, I wasn't gonna have a full-on breakdown, but yeah, I just needed to calm down a little bit. I think the heat was finally getting to me a little bit. But overall, I mean, running through, that's kind of like where it seemed like I was having the biggest problems was when we were outside the parks, that big
that long stretch
between
Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. That's the most miserable part for me after you exit Hollywood.
The good thing is though, is that's when they start handing out the bags of ice and the sponges. Just remember, big tip here. Keep your sponge. Yep. So when you go to the other additional water stations, you can dump some water on it and keep yourself cool through it. But
yeah, and then we got to mile 23 and again started slowing down even more. At this point, we were good. I know the balloon ladies were a couple miles behind us, which is about what we expect.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we did stop for the characters. We stopped for Donald. He was in the Blizzard Beach parking lot, which that part's always awesome to run through.
Yeah. That's like mile 21, 22.
Yeah. And then after that, we also stopped for Launchpad and Darkwing, which I was really happy to get both of those.
Yeah. Don't forget
because
Max.
They were, Max and Goofy too.
Max and Goofy.
Yeah, they were doing their power line dancing.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they were in other races, but their lines were too long, so we didn't stop for them the previous. So I was glad that we were able to get them.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you get through Epcot.
Running through Epcot, yes.
And
you're almost done. You've got less than 10K to go.
In Epcot? No,
5K. 5K.
You've got like 2K. Well, a little more because 25 is actually in Epcot.
Yeah. Okay. A couple more miles to go.
Yeah.
And that's when the magic actually does happen.
And the thing is there were runners stopping everywhere to get their drinks to cross the finish line. At the booths. You had people stopping for beers in Germany. And me, though, I'm going to want a margarita.
Margaritas,
now,
yes.
These past 2 times, I've always gone to the left to get the margaritas. But this next time, I'm going to the right. You know why? If you go to the right, you can get the Fiesta Margarita, which is the mixture. Plus, they're bigger.
Yes.
Because these seemed really small. They seemed smaller than they did last year.
I don't really remember.
I was almost done with mine. I actually had to stop drinking it before I crossed the finish line.
Maybe we're just really thirsty. But I think that is kind of like a continued trend if we keep on doing this, that we're going to get a margarita to finish the race. Everyone else goes towards like Mount Everest. Like that's their key thing of running the marathon is to get on Everest. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that'd be cool to do, but ours is,
if we end up having enough time, like for some reason, if we end up being quicker than we have been, and I'm not worried about you know, losing that time to get the drink at the end, then we might ride Everest. But, you know, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll
Having
see
a drink is a lot better to me. I don't know.
We'll see come April 11th.
Yeah, if we, yeah. That's another video. But anyway.
We've got March 21st to worry about first.
Yeah, definitely. But then, yeah, we crossed the finish line. Through the whole race, though, we're still messaging Dave and Laura.
We did a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and to see how they were doing and stuff like that. And I know if you watch their video, they talk
should.
about, yeah, definitely. They talk about their pros and cons and issues that they had during it. So definitely go check out their video of it. And we crossed the finish line.
Yep, and then
that's when more emotions happened at the finish line.
while we were watching other
while we were
people.
watching everybody else. Of course, we.
Yeah, you want to see some serious emotions.
Yeah.
You wait until those finishers cross that finish line, especially when they're grouped with the balloon ladies. I mean, just I don't
Tears,
care who you
waterfall, everything.
are. Everything.
Is-
And
yeah.
then we also watched the last woman
Yes.
cross the finish line.
Yes.
Um,
Just tears of joy, emotion. Just even thinking about it right now. Just
Yeah.
got tears going.
and
But
I'm not an emotional person, but that
yeah,
no.
they do the confetti cannons and all that stuff, and it's just got the music playing, and it's just very emotional. And then what?
That was
We just-
it.
we
I
just-
mean,
yeah.
we saw Dave and Laura at the end after they finished and took some pictures with them and a couple of their friends as well. And then we headed back. Again, we didn't stay.
No.
It's not really our thing to stay after the races much. I think we only did for the
10K.
10K.
Yeah, it was the 10K. It was the only
No,
one.
the half we
No.
did too, because we decided for Timon because we wanted Pain and Panic, but they took
Oh,
the
yeah.
break,
Yeah,
which
that's
that worked out because then we got Pain and Panic in the race.
Yep.
But
Yeah, overall, I thought it was a very good race. There was no issues, had no problem other than my heart just trying to slow down. But it was a great race, very emotional, great scene, great friends, great characters. But the overall race,
good.
excellent recommendation, 10 out of 10. No?
Those early mornings and stuff. Yeah, we'll talk about our future
Endeavors?
Dobie plans in another video.
So, with that being said, that is it.
We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. As far as those who are, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And yeah, hope you have a great day. Bye.
Bye.